Andrew, welcome to our show. It's a pleasure having you on our platform. And here we will talk about South Africa's re-entry. Now that South Africa are going to play a test match at Eden Gardens from November 14th, we'll take you back to that time when South Africa came out from isolation, and that was a very memorable game for all of us. If you just can recall, if I my memory serves me right, I watched that game, but you were not part of the squad, but you definitely watched the game. I mean, you were not part of the 11, I think, but you definitely watched the game. So if you please can recall about that historic moment.
Yes. Thank you. No, it was a great. I actually was a part of the 11, and you probably
Oh,
wouldn't remember because I only faced three deliveries against Capital Dead,
yeah.
and I was
My apologies. My apologies. It's a
no,
long time, and my memory betrayed me. So I extend my wholehearted apology. Yes, you
not
were.
In
Yeah.
no,
fact,
not at all.
in,
I
in fact, I
sometimes
remember
forget.
you had faced three deliveries and you had caught Kiran More bowled couple Dev. I do remember that.
That's right. And I opened with Jimmy Cook. Jimmy Cook and I
Jimmy Cook.
opened batting, and yeah. But it was the start of my international career and many of our international careers in the team. Although some of the players had played international cricket, like Kepler Wessels, had played for Australia, but for many of us, it was the first time sort of representing South Africa internationally, and yeah. So what a great moment to be invited back into world cricket by India, which was wonderful. And we had, yeah, I just remember Calcutta being so beautiful in terms of the warmth and the friendship and the excitement, from the crowds around the game, and even us getting to Calcutta initially it was a dreamy experience, and one that probably I'll never ever forget.
Uh, Andrew, one more thing is that how was the feeling? I mean, you were playing domestic cricket in South Africa. We have seen some great career lost because of the political isolation. Legends like Graham Pollock, Barry Richards, Mike Proctor, some great careers were lost. And from there, coming and playing international cricket, what was the feeling like?
Yeah, I think it was very sad for some of those players, some of those greats who perhaps the world got to see, through county cricket. So the Mike Proctors and the Clive Rices and the Jimmy Cooks and the Peter Kirstens were names that probably would have played international cricket for many, many years. And I think in a way it was it was sad that they were to end off, but there was also a lot of us that were just starting as well and starting our careers. But I must admit, I've always felt that they got the tough end of the straw, because they were such great cricketers, and not to have played international cricket was a shame. But I felt very fortunate, that I was part of the generation that was coming through. Jimmy Cook probably played a couple of games for South Africa, and then was too old. But it was pretty much the start of my career. So yeah, in hindsight, I think every generation feels that the one before maybe didn't have as much as they had. When I see the youngsters earning dollars today, and the amount of money they earn today, maybe I played in the wrong era. I would have loved to have been playing today. But I think the Jimmy Cooks and the Clive Rices and the Mike Proctors probably felt they were playing in the wrong era, unfortunately.
Right. Andrew, it's been nearly 35 years since the return to international cricket. When you look back at these 35 years, and in the last 12 months, we've seen South Africa rising to the top at the World Test Championship under Temba Bavuma. And last week, we saw the women's team making it to the finals of the ICC ODI World Cup. It's been a long journey. When you look back at this, how do you think that return in 1991 shaped the journey over the last 35 years?
Yeah, Ashok, it's a good question because I think that both the men and the women probably feel that they've still got a lot more to achieve, on the world stage. But just reflecting back on where we were 35 years ago, I mean, we weren't a diverse team. We weren't really reflective of the population and of our the people that played the game. And I think that was almost an all-white cricket team that toured in 1991. Whereas you look at the team today, both men and women, it's diverse, and so our cricket has transformed. It's been a leader in terms of transformation, and I think it's been good for us, that we've been able to reflect perhaps over the last 35 years. It's taken some time, but we've got some really quality players coming through the system and representing South Africa, which is probably a truer reflection of our demographic. So I think that for me has been the biggest highlight. I think the fact is that we're also getting our game together. We've had choking tags put on us. We seem to have done well in bilaterals. Whenever we played bilaterals, we've done well. But World Cups and knockouts, we've struggled, for a long time. And I think that's where we really want to get better going forward. And I mean, it's good to see the girls get to the final and put up a good fight against India. It wasn't by no means a pushover, and India played really well. But I think the girls represented themselves well, and hopefully can build on that going forward.
Uh, Andrew, if I may take you back to the time, to the start of the noughties, and cricket is not isolated from society, and it was a period of social upheaval in South Africa in a positive way. Madiba was released from his Robben Island cell. Mr. F.W.D. Clark was still leading the country, and a positive change was coming on. And you are part of the society. Apart from cricket, the society presented the bigger picture. So, if you, at that point of time, if I may ask you to relate cricket with the society, how would you do that?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I realized is that talent isn't limited to race, and it's not limited to color or everybody. I mean, every community has got talented children, men and women, that are coming through the system. And I think what I think we're much better at today is that we extend opportunity and access to all people. So it's been a very much a learning curve. Whereas I think access and opportunity was only extended to certain groups, and that wasn't right. And I think we all admit that. But today I think it's a lot better. I think there's inclusivity, there's access for everybody. If you want to play cricket for South Africa, you have every chance, as much chance as anybody else. Yes, certainly people that have means and come through private schools or have the luxury of private coaching and the likes. Your wealthier people probably will end up getting more opportunity. But if you're a youngster and you've born in a rural setting and you've got talent and you're keen, there's an opportunity for you to progress and to play for South Africa. And I think that's wonderful. Also for our players today to project that, to extend that opportunity to every youngster, that's in the cricketing world coming through our system. So yeah, I mean, I think we've still got a long way to go, but I think we're much, much better placed than what we were certainly a couple of years ago.
Andrew, you've played 34 test matches, 89 ODIs, and scored over 2,000 test runs. I'm curious to know, if you were playing T20, what would you have done? What would have been your thinking and your strategy?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny to think, but I mean, I probably wouldn't have been scared to get out. I think most of my career, international test matches and ODIs, was that my responsibility was to get the team off to a good start, not to lose early wickets. And I think always foremost on my mind was not to get out. And I love the way T20 is set up today, is that it's not about not losing your wicket. It's about options and creating the energy and the run rate. So I'm sure I would have loved it. I would have loved the freedom of T20, which I probably never had, and I would have loved to have expressed myself a little bit more. But I probably was always conservative by nature, just in the way that I batted here.
Wonderful. Thank you so
Thank you.
much, Andrew. I mean, fans will remember that 169 that you scored over 9 hours. But I think your perspective on T20, your perspective on the journey that South Africa has had over the last 35 years, and your message will echo for us for a long, long time. Thank you so much, Andrew.
Wonderful. And all the best to you both. Thank you.
Thank you.